About Alan Dershowitz, Professor Emeritus at Harvard University and the author of War Against the Jews, How to End Hamas Barbarism. Professor Dershowitz, you know more about this subject than me, probably than almost anybody on the planet. I'm giving this Columbia president a little bit of a plus because she seems to have done something. But more importantly, what do you think, sir?
Well, she gets about a B- with grade inflation because she hasn't dealt with the problem. The core problem is DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, intersectionality. These dominate universities today, and they're the sources of anti-Semitism. Let me tell you a story about one professor. His name is Joseph Massad. He is the one who praised Hamas on October 7th and said what they did was a wonderful thing. He is pro-Hamas. I opposed his tenure before he got tenure. I told the university that he was a third-rate academic. He had called on a Jewish student as a teacher. And when the student said and started talking, Joseph Massad, the professor, said, "You seem to have an Israeli accent. Are you Israeli?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Can't speak in my class unless you're prepared to say that Israel has committed war crimes." This is a professor. He hadn't gotten tenure yet. And Columbia University gave him tenure, not despite his being anti-Israel, but precisely because of it. They wanted anti-Israel professors on the faculty because they were getting funding from anti-Israel countries. This is a much deeper problem. This goes back years and years and years. And until and unless universities like Harvard and Columbia get rid of, uproot, completely from top to bottom, the DEI bureaucracy and the intersectionality bureaucracy, this will continue, and it will destroy every major university in America and turn American universities into the same third-rate institutions that Professor Joseph Massad is as a third-rate scholar. So, boy, does she have work to be done. And some of it's going to be difficult because her faculty won't support her. Many of her students won't support her. The problem is a lot deeper than what we see on television today. What we see on television today is the tip of the iceberg. But don't call these people pro-Palestinian. They are anti-Palestinian. They're pro-Hamas. Hamas has been destroying the Palestinian cause. They hang gays. They murder dissidents. They discriminate against women. They cause the death of all these people by using human shields. So these pro-Hamas people are not pro-Palestinian. They're anti-Jewish, they're anti-Palestinian, and they're anti-decency.
Professor Dershowitz, am I completely wrong? I look at this and I say to myself, you've got these college presidents in big-time schools. You've got the boards of directors who are really running the show. They are afraid to label these anti-Semitic statements as hate crimes. Just say they're a hate crime. I mean, am I wrong about that?
No, you're 100% right. A friend of mine who was the president of a major college said to me, the one criteria that doesn't exist for being the president of a university or a member of the board is courage. These folks have no courage, no guts. They want everybody to love them, and they can't do that. This is a time for making hard decisions, and universities are not good at making those kinds of decisions. So what we're going to see today and tomorrow is universities being responsive to Congresswoman Stefanik, who's done a great job in exposing this, and they'll do one or two things. But the deep problem of continuing to have a bureaucracy which is against equality in favor of equity, which is the opposite of equality, you judge people based on their ethnicity and based on their race and religion, they won't do anything to dismantle the real problems here and to stop hiring people because of their hatred of Israel or even the numbers of students. When I was teaching at Harvard 10 years ago, Harvard Jewish students were 23% of the student body. Today, they're 9%, less than they were when they had quotas, anti-Jewish quotas. So the DEI bureaucracy is anti-Semitic, not only in effect, but in intent. And until it's gotten rid of, we're going to see this problem get worse and worse and worse. And no president is prepared to take on this bureaucracy. I spoke at Cardozo Law School, Yeshiva University Law School, and I spoke against DEI. And the dean of the law school said, we're doubling down. Everybody has to support DEI. DEI is part of what Cardozo law school is about. She is part of the problem, not part of the solution. And many of these administrators are the cause of the problem. And today just demonstrates what's going to happen to American universities. Jewish students today are not safe at many American universities.
Well put, sir. Well put, Professor Alan Dershowitz. We appreciate it very much. Tough stuff, but I know you're on target. Talk soon. Thank you very much.